So hello friends, welcome to my another lecture on introduction to algorithms, and the topic that we are currently discussing is about performance analysis. And in that too we are discussing about time complexity of the algorithm. We have discussed big O, then theta and big omega notations previously. Today we'll discuss two new notations which are called as the upper bound and lower bound of the algorithms, and they are small o and small omega notations. So let us move ahead. Before moving ahead, I would like to request you all to subscribe the channel and share the video as much as possible to your friends if you feel that this video is a worth learning. Moving ahead, so first discuss about little o representation of algorithmic complexity. So basically this little o notation is used to describe the upper bound, okay, that cannot be tight, that is a loose upper bound. So big this small o is used to represent loose upper bound for a given function f of n. So here if f of n is a given function and this f of n can be equal to big O of g of n, we can say that if and only if this particular condition happens, and the condition is this one, that is limit of f of n divided by g of n as n tends to infinity is equal to 0. So f of n is given to us and you have to find out g of n. So there is no c is to be identified now, there is no n0. We have to just choose a g of n. Let us consider some examples. The first one is the function c f of n is equal to 3n plus 2. So in this case what you can say is f of n is 3n plus 2, and I want to choose g of n in such a way that f of n divided by g of n, so as the limit of n as it tends to infinity, this value must become infinity, this value must become 0. Okay, so as in the previous diagram, so as limit of as n tends to infinity, f of n divided by g of n must become 0. So as the value of n tends to infinity, this output must be 0. So f of n is given now, f of n is given as 3n plus 2, and I have to choose some g of n such that whatever the denominator is there, so numerator becomes very much less than denominator as n tends to infinity. So for that purpose, if I choose f of n is equal to n square, so for n is equal to very near to infinity, I will get this is equal to 0. I can also get g of n is equal to n cube. So I can also rewrite this equation as 3n plus 2 is equal to small o of n cube. This is also true. Small o of n raised to 4. This is also true. Even the second one, this is f of n again, and this f of n is equal to small o of n log n. So as n tends to infinity, n log n. So 3n plus 2 divided by n log n, this will tend to 0, because at that time what is going to happen is the denominator is going to become very much larger than the numerator, and this tends to 0. This is also possible, n into log n, anything multiplied by n. So n is the numerator, and anything multiplied by n, any positive value multiplied by n, so it will tend us to infinity. Okay, this as n tends to infinity, this will take us to 0. This is very much important. So if this is the equation, 6 into 2 raised to n plus n square, in that case you can say that it is 2n. So the numerator contains 2n multiplied by some constant values, let us say. So if we can make the denominator is equal to 3 raised to n, now with this 3 raised to n and 2 raised to n, this will tend to 0 as n tends to infinity. Okay, and you can also say that it is 2 raised to n log n. So 2 raised to n divided by 2 raised to n log n, this is also possible, or it can be 2 raised to n divided by n into 2 raised to n log n. So as n tends to infinity, this is going to tends to 0. Now we have to check whether these are true or false. So 3n plus 2 divided by 3n plus 2 is equal to small of n. So can we say that 3n plus 2 divided by n is equal to 0 if n tends to infinity? So this will not be 0. So this is false. This is false. Similarly, for the second one, 6 into 2 raised to n plus n square is equal to 2 raised to n. So it is something like this: 6 into 2 raised to n plus n square divided by 2 raised to n. So this numerator value will be greater than always 2 raised to n. Hence, it will not tend to 0, rather it will tend to 1. So we want it to be 0 as n tends to infinity. So this does not happen. So this is also false. Both the statements are false. Moving ahead, let us discuss about the next one. So let us discuss about the next one. Little omega representation. So here in the little omega representation, this is the lower bound value. Now this is the loose lower bound. Previous one is the loose upper bound. Now this is the loose lower bound. So little omega notation is used to describe a loose lower bound of f of n. So a function f of n is equal to omega of g of n, and it is read as f of n is equal to little omega of g of n if and only if limit of as n tends to infinity g of n, that is g of n divided by f of n is equal to 0. So here it is reciprocal of the previous one. So lower bound. So this, I want this to be lower, the numerator to be lower. So in the previous case, the function gn function was in the denominator. Now the gn function is in the numerator and the f of n function is the denominator. So that is the reason that we say that this is a loose lower bound and previous as loose upper bound. Now we want, what we want is, we want the denominator small as compared to the we want the numerator small as compared to the denominator, whereas in the previous case, as in the definition of small o, here we wanted the numerator to be smaller than denominator. So we wanted to choose a denominator which is very much larger. Okay, so now let us consider some example on this. So this is the equation, and some of the example is the function 3n plus 2 is equal to omega of log n, because 3n plus 2 log n divided by limit as n tends to infinity log n divided by 3n plus 2. So 3n plus 2 will be very much larger than log n as n tends to infinity, and this will be 0. Even you can say that it is this one, 3n plus 2 is equal to omega of log n. So log of log n, this will be again very much lesser than log n. Log of log n divided by 3n plus 2 is equal to 0 as n tends to infinity. In the third case, 6 into 2 raised to n into n square, I can say that this is n square. So I can say that this is omega of n, omega of n square also. So for omega of n, it will be n divided by 6 into 2 raised to n plus n square. So this will tend to 0 as n will be tending to the infinity. Similarly with the n square also, because the denominator is very much larger than numerator. So this is all about the things. Let us have the last one, check whether these are true. So whether 3n plus 2 is equal to big of small o of n. So this, rather this is small omega of n, let us say. So it is wrong, because here the function should be very much smaller. Okay, you can write it as is equal to small o of log of n. Okay, about this you can, again this is wrong, because 2 raised to n divided by 6 into 2 raised to n as n tends to infinity will be 1 by 6, and which will not be 0. You can say that this is equal to small o of n log n. This is true. Okay, so this is all about the two additional complexities. One of them was the loose upper bound and another of them was the loose lower bound. So that's up with this particular lecture. So chapter number 1, session 8 ends here, and in the next video, I am going to discuss about the profiling tool, the gprof, and in that I am going to demonstrate it practically. Before ending, I would like to request you all to subscribe the video, and to subscribe the channel and share this channel if you find that it is worth learning. Thank you.